changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me tooed. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive, we're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb. I'm a hater cause I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't want to date guys. K-tight. I for one am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just cause they decide to play. We exercise our right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy, it's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird, feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy, we're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders, mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction, being human is so tragic. Focus on minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid?
You gotta ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
It took 11 weeks, but we finally have our winner of our Survivor pool. Gilly Cheesesteak is going to be the #1 pick in the College Player Rights Draft come Super Bowl Sunday. He had the winning pick of the Ravens there in Week 11. Wyoming Redskins took the Giants, who lost, and so he'll end up with the #2 pick. Camaralis has the #3 pick after he made that trade with Colby's team. Baker's Dozen Rejects at 4. The flip side of that trade there is Colby's team has the #5 pick. Black Lives Matter at 6 and CD Nuts at 7. And then 8 through 14 will keep changing throughout the year over the next 3 weeks. It is based on total points scored. Right now, Sunday's Thunder 8. Bud Wilborn's team at 9. Michael's team at 10. Doomsday 11. Camaralis got the 12 pick when he traded that and got that from Hellfire and Brimstone. Catching Thielen's at 13 and Torts Illustrated at 14.
You play ball like a girl!
Camaralis coming in as a low scorer. First time this season is the 17th in their franchise's history. They scored around 58 points in Week 11.
Let the big dog eat!
And with such a performance and the huge victory over Wyoming Redskins, Doomsday was also our weekly high scorer. It's the first time this season he's been the high scorer, 5th time in his franchise's history. He put up a 145, almost a 146 to take down Wyoming Redskins and keep him in the top 3 on the standings for the regular season.
It's not called being gay, it's called being fabulous!
And the Week 11 fabulous move of the week was an easy one, and it is Christian Watson, picked up by Catchin' Thielens.
Little trickery here, holds on to it, throws, touchdown! Trying to get a playoff here. Rogers trying to catch him off guard and back with a flag down. Where they said is the question, and Rogers will throw to the back of the end zone. Will be caught there by Watson. For the
Christian Watson scored 19 points. That was 10 over what his projection was. He had 4 receptions, 50 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that's coming off a game where he had 3 touchdowns 2 weeks ago. So it seemed kind of like a no-brainer pickup. Yet, Catchin' Thielens will pick him up for $0 in a matchup he won by 2 over Michael's team last week. And he was the #5 wide receiver on the week.
Well, I'm the best there is. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
And the Week 11 performance of the week and a big win over Wyoming Redskins is going to go to Doomsday, and specifically the performance of the week belongs to their defense.
From the 16-yard line, Marcus Jones. Got a block from Schooler. Here he goes. He's going to try to beat the punter. He does. He's gone. And that is a touchdown.
And that there was the game winner. That punt return won the game for the Patriots 10-3 over the Jets. They performed so well that the starting quarterback, the Jets, got benched on a winning team, though none of it was his fault. The Patriots defense put up 32 points. That was 12 more than they projected. They only allowed 3 points in the whole game to the Jets. They had 4 sacks and obviously that big touchdown there that you just saw. They were the number 4 player in the week in Week 11 and the number 1 defense overall in 2022. Once again, in Week 11, we had someone who shit the bed. And this bed shitter was on Colby's team. And that is his defense.
Carr loads up. Adams is open. Walk-off touchdown.
His defense was projected to score 15 points this week. And they scored 0 in a game where Colby's team lost by 10. And that was a difference in a game that with the win, Colby's team would be right in the playoff hunt, a game out of the wild card spot. Instead, now he's sitting 2 games back with more teams in front of him. So a very costly, disappointing week by that defense.
Boom shakalaka! He's heating up! He's on fire!
Alright, and he's on fire this week. We do have a couple teams on fire, but a couple less than last week. Let's start with our newest member on fire. That's going to be Doomsday. He's sitting at 7-4, third place. He's won 3 straight. He's led by his quarterback number 3, Jalen Hurts, the running back 14, Travis Etienne Jr., and wide receiver 13, Terry McLaurin. He's averaging 111 points a week, but during this 3-game win streak, 126 points a week. And his longest streak in his organization's history was in 2017, where he won 8 straight. And still on fire, and the longest streak current is Catchin' Thielen's at 6-5. He is sitting in 8th place. He started 0-5. He's won 6 straight, now 6-5. He's led by Aaron Rodgers, the QB 12, Aaron Jones, the running back 9, and Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver 6. And he's increased his weekly from 106 to 113 during this 6-game winning streak. And this is his current longest streak. Each week he adds to his new franchise record with 6 straight here in 2022.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it. I want winners.
And on losers and winners this week, we already know about Torts Illustrated being eliminated. Wyoming Redskins has clinched. His magic number is now 2 after he lost last week. And Colby's team has an elimination number of 2 and Camarlis an elimination of 1. So any combination there, we'll see them next as eliminated unless they can keep winning and the teams ahead of them start losing.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Alright, a couple things stat-wise to look over. Postseason streaks. Right now the Myers organization has been to the playoffs 6 straight years. Now they're sitting in 7th right now, so they're at risk of losing that streak and ending it if they're to lose a couple more games and not make the playoffs. And then followed by the Clark, Doom, and Gillen organizations have all been there 3 straight years. They're all looking to get in for the 4th time this year. Gillen right now on the outside looking in. An asterisk there on the Myers one. He did not have a team in 16 and 17. So his 6 straight years does have a 2-year gap where he wasn't owner GM for a couple of years. The no postseason streak are dry spells here. The Gear organization and Wilborn organization are still looking for their first appearance in the playoffs ever. And Wilborn right now is in good position. A couple more wins and he'll be able to break that spell he's under. And Kirsch's organization, the Corbett organization are both in driver's seats to make it as well, as Kirsch hasn't been in since 2017 and Corbett since 2019. And then some active stuff we've been talking about, losing streaks. Torts Illustrated got their 10th straight loss last week, so now they are tied for the longest losing streak in Can't Hack It Pantywaist League history with the 2020 Polton organization Make America Gronk again. And we will see what happens this week, if he's going to set that record or if he'll stay tied there at 10 if he can get a win this week. And then just some individual accolades. The Myers organization got their 75th win all time, and Anderson organization their 25th win, both there in week 11.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And last week's matchup of the week between Catchin' Thielen's and Michael's team, it really was a battle of tight ends, and Trey McBride outplayed Travis Kelce. Well, sorta. But he was able to help clinch that victory for Catchin' Thielen's 120 to 118 in a very close, matchup with a lot on the line for both these teams. But mostly catching Thielen's needed that 6th win instead of getting that 6th loss to keep him right in the playoff hunt and within the top 8. Now looking over the matchups of the week for this week, week 12, we have Baker Dozen of Rejects traveling to take on Wyoming Redskins. Hellfire and Brimstone's on the road taking on Michael's team. Budwell Warren's team will host Doomsday. We got a lot of playoff implication matchups this week. Catching Thielen's taking on Camaryllis. Gilly Cheesesteak traveling to take on CD's Nuts. And finally, Torts Illustrated looking for that 2nd win on the year. Very elusive win, will be hosting Colby's team. But the matchup of the week for week 12 is going to be Mac Lives Matter traveling to take on Sundays of Thunder. They're both at 6-5. They played each other 10 times in their CHIPL history. Mac Lives Matter has won 7 of those, and he's won 6 straight, which is from 2017 to now, with an average margin victory of 25 points. Now, Mac Lives Matter right now is 2-0 when he's playing in the matchup of the week. Sundays of Thunder 2-2. Both sitting at 6-5. Major implications of this matchup. The winner is going to be sitting at 7-5, where 20 out of 24 teams have made the playoffs sitting at 7-5. Loser is going to go to 6-6, where 6 out of 16 have made the playoffs. So drastic difference there on the projections. And looks like the winner will most likely be in 4th place in the league with only 2 games to go, where the loser will be tied for 6th place with 5 other teams. So based on points scored, can anywhere between 6th and 10th place, depending on how many points they've scored and how many points others have scored.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
With 3 weeks left, we have Wyoming Redskins in that 1 seed, Michael's team 2, and Sundays Thunder 3. Those top 3 teams get to pick their first round opponents from the 5 to 8 seeds as their home field advantage. Doomsday's at 4, and then 5 through 8, we got Mac Lives Matter, Bud Wilborn's team, Hellfire and Brimstone, and Catchin' Thielen's. Everybody else is still technically in the playoff picture, minus Torts Illustrated, who has been eliminated. And it's now time for our C.H.I.P.L Plus community member to be spotlighted. And this week, for week 11's review, we're going to highlight Chappie, our Baker's Dozens of Rejects owner and general manager. He's been an owner since 2013. He's played 9 seasons. This is his 10th. Been in the playoffs twice. He's 16-75 in the regular season, 1-3 in the playoffs. Best season of 2019 went 9-4, and his worst was 4-10 in 2015. He's been a high scorer twice and a low scorer 9 times. His CPR pick was George Pickens, and there was DeAndre Swift, his keeper from last year. He signed to a 1-year contract. And as always, we try and get in touch with our members when we spotlight them and have a little conversation. And our intern was able to get in touch with Chappie this week, and we have a little on-the-phone conversation, so take a listen. All right, on the line with us right now, we have Chappie, the owner and general manager of Baker's Dozens of Rejects. Chappie, how you doing this evening?
Good. What's up?
We've got a few questions for you. Don't want to waste too much of your time. We know the lady that answered your phone for us told us you didn't want to talk to us, but you're contractually obligated to, so we'll be quick and get to the point here. First and foremost, as an owner and general manager, you have a reputation within the Can't Hack It Pantywaist League of a man of integrity, honor, and discipline. But there are some stories, maybe some rumors that you can clear up in your main profession, the one where you made your wealth of billions of dollars to be able to buy the current franchise you have. It's true that you've used some of that job, that equipment, that status for your own benefit. One story in particular, the use of pepper spray on maybe you call him a friend or a person. In exchange for paying his bar tab, you got to pepper spray him. Kind of a closing time prostitution, if you would.
Well, this is one of those things from my younger days that some would say they're not proud of. I'm extremely proud of because, there's video evidence, and so I'm not going to deny that it happened because obviously it did. In fact, I'll take complete ownership of that. One of my books I'm reading right now is Jocko Willink. He talks about extreme ownership, but I will own the fact that I sprayed that idiot in the face with pepper spray for a bar tab, and it was worth every second of it. So, yeah, I'll take that one. And it was good. And there is video evidence. and should that ever hit the news media, it is what it is. But that's how it goes.
All right. I guess honesty is the best policy if you're willing to let that out there. Okay, question number 2, sir. You signed DeAndre Swift this last offseason to a very team-friendly 1-year contract. You also drafted George Pickens' right in the college player rights draft. Both Georgia Bulldog graduates. What is it about Bulldogs that tickle your fancy so much? I mean, is it their large wrinkles, or maybe because they can ride on skateboards and you were never able to ride skateboards as a kid? And with that said, it seems obvious you are a Georgia Bulldog fan. So when are you going to come out of Kirk Herbstreit's closet and maybe tell your family that you are not a Nebraska fan, but you are a Georgia fan? And if you're willing to come out of the closet tonight and be very, very brave, can we get a Huckafuskers?
Well, I'll tell you what. Truth be told is I will die a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan no matter what, no matter how bad we are, no matter bowl games we don't make and how many coaches we turn over. I will still bleed red all the way. However, to your point, I may be a closeted Bulldog fan. I don't know if you know this about me. I grew up in Georgia, so I'm a Braves fan. And so growing up, I was always rooting for the Bulldogs on the side of the Huskers, and always felt kind of like cheating. It didn't feel right, but it was what it was. And so, you know what? I'll say go Bulldogs, but I will not turn my back on my Huskers, no matter how dark the skies are. And they are dark, I'll tell you that. It's pretty rough.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Little history there from Georgia. We know you love Chipper Jones, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, so final question. And this one will be a little more specific to what's going on right now. Just in the last couple of days here, week 11, you had one of the most improbable comebacks in Can't Hack It Pantywaist League history, coming back 60 down against Torts Illustrated late in your matchup. That win puts you at 5-6 instead of a 4-7 record if you lost, and that's only one game out of the wild card. But your remaining schedule is probably one of the hardest in the league. You got, I believe, Bud Wilmore's team 6-5. You have another 6-5 team in Mac Lives Matter, but you also play Wyoming Redskins sitting at 9-2. Those are your, not in that order, but those are your final 3 matchups. So where's your mindset going into finishing the season? Are we want to make the playoffs? Are we missing out on getting better draft capital? And what is your current message to your rejects that play for you on the field and those rejects that are paying to come watch you each and every week?
Well, look, fantasy football is a fickle beast here, and at this point in the season, with my organization, is we're just trying not to get on the low profile picture board every week. I mean, I don't tell players that, fans don't necessarily need to know that, but it is what it is, and we're just trying to keep our head above water here. We're starting to look toward 2023 pretty hard. That decision was made early on in the season because it became evident to me and the fans and the players that this wasn't going to happen. So that's what we started looking for. And we've sat back over the years and watched other organizations sell their souls and everything they have just to try to get that next season. And the Wyoming Redskins, they're my matchup this week, and that team was bought and paid for early last season when they decided that they were doing the same thing and fire selling for this year, and it's obviously paid off for them. Now it hurts my soul that I'm likely going to lose to that organization because and that I'm becoming that organization. But you have to stay with the market. You have to stay true to what the fans need, and that is wins. And I'm not delivering wins right now. I mentioned previously being a Nebraska fan. I'm used to losing, but I don't like it. And so we did what we had to do this season. And I feel pretty strongly that we've come away with some pretty good waiver wire pickups. I've completely rebooted my quarterback room, and Andy Dalton has surprised me and come back very strong. The redheaded beast, part of me wanted him on my team because I need more gingers like myself and my kids. But he's been doing very well. And then Jimmy G has really come through very strong, too. I didn't see that one coming, but that offense has really started clicking. So, I pieced together what I could after selling my soul for next season. And I'm pretty happy to even be in any sort of talk of any contention at this point in the season, given where we've come and where we're going. But I can say this. Next season, I'm coming for you. Wyoming Redskins, I'm coming for you. Michael's team, I'm coming for you. Hellfire and Brimstone, I'm coming for all of you. And you just hold on, because next year's where it's at.
All right. Well, I like it. I like the fire. I do question the selling of the soul because you are ginger. You never had a soul to sell. But other than that,
it was cheap. It was real cheap. Whatever's left of it is cheap. I'll tell you that.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Well, all right. Well, I thank you, sir, for your time and for your answers. Please have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. Tell the wifey, tell Aubrey, thanks for some time here away. And we will see how this rest of this season, off season in 2023, turns out for you.
Of course. And then one more note to make. The league that we are in, I would just like to point out to everyone, I don't know if more people are in multiple leagues or what the situation is, but we have something special here. I just want to throw that out there. I tell my coworkers who are all police officers and are all type A personalities, and that league is competitive. But when I tell them about our league, it blows their socks off how competitive we are. So you boys that are listening to this, other commissioners or other managers, you just stay true and keep going strong and keep this thing going the way it is, because we've got something special here.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, there's one owner, part of the union, keeping it fired up. Appreciate it. Chappie, again, good luck to you and Baker's Dozen of Rejects. Hopefully next year, Baker Mayfield's on your team. You can change your team name and have a few more wins.
He was. I got to change it back. I dropped him already, so I got to figure out something new.
Yeah. All right. Well, we look forward to that, and we're happy for you that Baker's no longer on your team.
Yeah, same.
Chappie, thanks for your time, and we thank you for your interview. Thank you for joining us for another Can't Hack It Pantywaist League Weekly Review. Goodbye.